Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am finally back filming a long format video after taking a really long break. I've been gone for 6 months, about 6 months, but I really had to take a break from YouTube, mainly due to the fact that I started working full time. Before that, I was freelancing, so I was a lot more flexible in, doing my own schedule. Life was lifing, and I just did not find any time. But today is the day where I'm finally sitting down with you. And believe me, although I was busy at work, I still tried out so much makeup this year. So I thought it would be a great idea to actually make a video on all of the products that I have been loving lately that were released in 2026 or late 2025. So if you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a like. Also subscribe to my channel in case you are new here and ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos, because I don't know when I can film the next video, but I already have something in mind that I can film. And of course, all of the products are going to be listed and linked. I honestly missed interacting with you. So if you want to say hi in the comment section down below, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I want to know how you guys have been. What makeup have you tried out this year thus far? So I would say let's just go ahead and let's start with the very first product. Now, I have not really changed my prepping steps. Like, my prepping routine is still the same. I still use the same primer. I've emptied this multiple times. I think this is my third bottle. Love this blurring primer. If you guys are new, I've got a little bit more oily skin, so I'm always trying to use something that has some oil control and something that is quite blurring, because I just love that. And also, by the way, Cosmetix actually did give me a discount code. So let's start off with a foundation that I actually end up enjoying. It's a new foundation by Rare Beauty, and it's the True to Myself Natural Matte Longwear foundation. So here is the new foundation by Rare Beauty. I've been really enjoying this. This is such a great everyday sort of on-the-go foundation. It has quite a thick, moussey texture almost, and I don't necessarily need much of this product because it has great coverage straight off the bat. It looks really fantastic. I've got this in the shade 11. They've got so many shades. I am a cool undertone, and this shade is perfect. It's a really, really good shade match, I've got to say. I'm really, really happy that I got a really good shade match straight away with this. Really love this. Blends out beautiful. I always blend my foundations out with a sponge. This is not dewy. This is really like matte natural, how it's described. It's not completely flat, like I've got to powder this. This is not a foundation that is necessarily too self-setting. I mean, it will dry down, right? It's not going to stay like wet on your skin. Maybe not the most long-lasting foundation ever. Starts to look a little bit makeup-y at the end of my day, but I'm talking about like after 12 hours. But for the first like 6 to 8 hours, this is not giving me any major issues if I use a good setting spray, good setting powder, and so on. I really like it. I'm telling you guys, I almost tried every release that there was foundation-wise, and this, honestly, one of the better ones. So let's talk about my other foundation that I've loved. And you might be surprised that I'm featuring this brand on here. I've discovered this foundation at the end of last year, and they reformulated this foundation. So this is by Dior, and it's the Forever Skinwear Flawless Skin True Foundation. They've got this in a glowy version and in a matte version. Of course, I am talking about this matte version. I am actually wearing this on my skin today. Like, I cannot stop using this foundation. So this was the original formula. I purchased this bottle, I want to say at the end of 2025. And I mean, I was using this so much because the thing is, what I love about this product is, first off, this feels like a second skin. The texture of this, it's like runnier. It's not like this one. This one is quite like thicker and fluffier and like almost has like a moussey texture, whereas this is really runny and liquidy. And it just feels like a second skin. I don't feel this on my skin. I don't feel like I'm wearing makeup. This is so lightweight. It's so perfecting. It is so long lasting. That's why I do adore this. I do adore this so much. Now, the only downside is that this has a slight fragrance. I'm not bothered by it, you know. Honestly, I kind of got used to it, and it's not that strong. This one, though, it's completely fragrance free. So I just love the coverage of this. I will say, though, the original one had a little bit more coverage. that straight off the bat, and it felt more matte, but it also feels a lot more breathable. It feels more skin-like. It honestly just looks like a second skin. Very blurring, very beautiful, does not accentuate any texture, does not run into any thin lines. They have perfected this formula to the gods. It's so beautiful. I also have this in the shade 2CR, so cool rosy undertone, and this shade is like my skin tone. It's perfect. If you have oily skin, this is honestly perfection. Now, I also purchased the glowy version. Don't like it. Of course I don't like it. I don't know why I thought, maybe let's try it. Maybe it's amazing. Maybe I just have to powder it down. So if you have dry skin, you may like that. I don't. I think this is the way to go. So let's move on to the concealer section. I've got two different formulas. One is not necessarily a concealer. It is more of like, one of these pinky brightening under eye concealers. So let's talk about that one first. And I don't think you're surprised by this one. So this is by Natasha Denona, and it's the Hy-Glam Brightener. You guys know that I love the Hy-Glam concealer by Natasha Denona. Usually, I don't really need to put pink underneath my eyes. I already have a cool undertone, but I tend to use these as like mixing products. Like, for example, if I've got a foundation that is just too yellow, that is too peachy, I will mix in these types of concealers. Like usually I would mix in, look at that. This looks disgusting, but this is my Huda Beauty faux filter corrector. And I only use this to mix into foundations that are not cool toned enough. And there are quite a lot, believe me. Yeah, but back to Natasha Denona. I've got this in two shades. I've got this in B2 and in B3. And I just love this undertone. I always said like that Natasha Denona makes actually really good, cool undertones. But sometimes I will use this on concealers that are too peachy. So I will put this underneath my eyes first. This is also just a beautiful formula. It is super blurring, does not crease on me. This formula is a little bit thinner than the concealer formula. So let's say you don't have a cool undertone. This will definitely just brighten up your under eye if you're in the market for that. So the one concealer that I feel like is the best one out of all of the concealers that I tried out this year, this is amazing. This is so good. So this is by Charlotte Tilbury, and it's the Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer. I'm also wearing this concealer underneath my eyes today, without this though. I've got this also in two shades. This is full coverage. I love to let this sit for like maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and then I blend this out with a sponge. It looks amazing. Not very much prone to creasing. I mean, I can't guarantee, that a concealer is creaseless. But what I love about this is this texture and the amount of coverage that this is giving. And also just the finish. You don't need a lot of this. You can use this everywhere. Underneath your eyes, all over your face. Amazing. The only thing I will say though is I've got this in the shade 4, fair to medium, and I've got this in the shade 5. The shade 5, I think I'm not sure if this is a cool undertone. Maybe it's not. This is cool, but it's a little bit too light. I wish there was an in-between shade here, like a 4.5 shade. So, but mixing these two shades always looks good. I mean, the shade is matching at the end of the day, okay? Okay, so let's move on to a setting powder. It's the new Natasha Denona Hy-Glam setting powder. This is literally a setting powder that was made for me. I do appreciate the fact that it comes with a locking sift. You can literally lock this. This cap, I wish this wasn't quite as deep. It's just not the nicest cap to take the powder out of this onto my puff. However, this powder is so beautiful. First off, this is super blurring. I'm wearing this all over my skin today, and it's really, really oil controlling without being over the top mattifying, but it's just so beautiful. It is so blurring. It's so long lasting. It will literally lock in my... So ever since I've been using this, I definitely feel like my foundations have lasted so much longer. I don't need to constantly powder my face. So we're going to be moving on to a setting spray that I just think this is so fantastic. This is by Laura Mercier, and this is the Translucent Hydrating Setting Spray Ultra Blur. First off, I love the sprayer on this. I really do. And this is actually really blurring. It is quite a blurring setting spray, which is very, very hard to find, very rare to find, but it's also contributing to the longevity of your makeup. This has a continuous spray. It's just like one of these sprayers. Look at that. It's really a fine mist and it's going to blur your skin. The only thing I would say is don't go overboard with this. Like one layer. Don't like literally drowse your skin with this, because if you do, this will not dry down, because at the end of the day, it still says hydrating. I would advise you not to do that unless you want that. So it's actually quite a versatile product. You can get like more of that hydrated look with it, but you can also get just like a really beautiful blurred look. I love a good blurry face. You guys may know this by now. That was it for all of my base products. So let's actually move on to some color complexion products. Let's maybe start off with a contouring product that I really honestly like. I'm also wearing that one today. So this is by Vive Beauty and this is their new Silhouette Stick. This is actually a newer product by Vive and I was really curious to try this. You guys know I love a good contour cream and I've got this in the shade Fair. This is very, very cool toned. I don't think this is gonna work in the middle of summer once I get a tan. Right now, it's on the verge of maybe being a little bit too fair. This is actually very sheer, but it's doing its job. It's giving you a very believable shadow. So if you don't like contouring products that are just too visible, this one is so natural on the skin. Like it's really beautiful, blends out amazingly. It's still pretty new, but I really have been enjoying this. Okay, so let's talk about some liquid products. Oh man, these are quite controversial. I have seen some mixed reviews on them, but I love them. This is by Makeup Forever and this is the Artist Liquid Color. They came out with so many colors. I've got this in 2 shades. This can be used as, I don't know, you could use this as a liquid eyeshadow. You could use this on your lips. Like I use this on my cheeks. But yeah, I've got this in the shade Wherever Walnut. This is the shade 606. And I've got this in the shade Anywhere Caffeine 600. Maybe let's talk about this one first. I use this as a bronzer, like a liquid bronzer. You could definitely also use this as a blush. But I feel like on me, this is just such a perfect bronzing shade. I love this formula. This formula is very pigmented and you gotta work quickly with this. So don't dot this on your face. By the love of God, just don't. Just use the back of your hand, right? And apply 1 dot, then work it into your brush and then apply. That's the way I use these, okay? I sometimes have to use more product because then the product already dries down. This shade, Wherever Walnut, it's like this subdued mauve. It's not purple, but it's like just this perfect mauve on my skin tone. I love this. Again, very pigmented, so I gotta be careful. I like build these up slowly. But man, when I do this, I'm telling you, this formula, it's not gonna go anywhere. I've got this blush on until I go to bed, until I wash off my makeup. This will stay put. So if you were looking for a liquid blush that won't fade, that will stay on your skin, my gosh, they've got these in so many different shades, but Wherever Walnut, my favorite one. So another liquid blush that, oh my gosh, this is also a formula that I've been raving about for ever since it was released actually. And they came out with, I think, 2 new shades. I picked up one of the shades. It's by Huda Beauty and it's the blush filter in the shade Strawberry Latte. And this is such a pretty shade. It's actually a little bit similar to Wherever Walnut. Can you see? I think I've got a shade preference here, but this one is definitely a little bit more red, whereas this one is more of like a traditional mauve. This one has a little bit more red in there. I do prefer this on top of a satin base. This is also quite pigmented, so I don't need much product, but this blends out beautifully. This also smells like strawberries, you know. It has a beautiful strawberry scent to it. Not that I need a scent in my blush, but I just wanted to point out it's quite an addictive scent. So let's move on to some powder products. This wasn't released this year, but I finally got my correct shade because I used to have this in a wrong shade. That was just too warm for me. So this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills and it's the Smooth Blur Bronzer. This is in the shade Sunkissed Dreams. I think this is the lightest shade. But man, I actually do love this. I love this shade so much. This is like a really beautiful, almost like smoothing, blurring bronzer on me. Really love this formula. I know they've got a lot of heat last year because they looked so different online than in real. I love the shade. It is still warm. It's still a bronzer. It's not cool toned. I love this actually more than one of the newer releases that I've tried out. This is by Rare Beauty and it's the Soft Matte Powder Bronzer. Man, I was so excited when I saw that they would release a powder bronzer. I've got this in the shade Summer Fields. I think this is also the lightest shade. Beautiful formula. Pulls way too orangey. Now, if I put like a really cool toned contour cream product, you know, on my cheeks and then I apply this, I could make this work. But unfortunately, this is straight up orange. It's really smoothing, quite pigmented. This one is not as pigmented as this one. But yeah, it's just not working for me. If you like a warm bronzer, I would recommend it. So let's move on to some powder blushes. I think I mentioned this briefly in my best of 2025, but I just wanted to give it some more airtime. It's by Westman Atelier and it's the Baby Cheeks Powder Blush Duo, especially this newer shade, Fluff and Puff. This is what I'm wearing on my cheeks today. I absolutely love this shade. I mean, these transition blushes, right? They are really like a hot topic right now. And this is definitely what this is. This is gonna give you these two shades that just work so well with each other. And I feel like I do apply this shade just quite up high right there. And then I blend it out with this shade. And it's just gonna look so blurred. It's gonna look so perfected. I absolutely adore this formula. It is quite a buildable blush. They are long lasting. They are very expensive. It's Westman Atelier, but I just wanted to mention this again because I just love this formula. It's so good. Amazing product. Same goes for the next formula. This is by Glossier and this is the Seamless Cheek Color. I've got this actually in two shades and I definitely do prefer one color over the other. So I've got this in the shade Billow and I've got this in the shade Bloom. You can guess which one I prefer. Did you say this one? Because that's correct. I actually love putting this on top of Wherever Walnut. It almost feels like a cream powder. Look at that. Look at that cool tone shade. It's such a beautiful, almost lilac. But once this goes onto your skin, I'm telling you, these are not over the top pigmented. So you can definitely build them up and they are not quite as intimidating as they look in the pan. Yeah, I've not used this that much. I tried this out once and then I was like, yeah, I don't know. Why did I get this shade? I don't know. I should have just gotten this shade because this is more my vibe. But also beautiful formula. Very silky, very smooth. The finish of them, very blurry. I just really love them. Let's actually talk about a highlighter. Again, I have seen so many mixed reviews on this. This is by Kosas and it's the Shiny Objects Powder Highlighter. I don't really love this packaging. It's kind of hard to open it up. I've got this in the shade Haloed. And when I got this in the beginning, I thought to myself, oh no, this is going to be glittery. Because it just looks like an eyeshadow. But believe me, it's exactly the opposite. It does not have any glitter particles in there. And it's just going to give you that glow from within. And it's also not enhancing my texture. It just looks so smooth. I always use the Scott Barnes 66 brush. Now, this is quite a loose brush, okay? It's very loose. So I don't need to, you know, have like a very firm grip and then have a stripe of highlighter. I just wanted to look natural, just like, you know, glow from within and not have a bunch of like glitter particles enhancing my texture or like a stripe there. And I really think this shade is amazing. This formula is amazing. I'm blown away. Ended up using this pretty much every day. So amazing product by Kosas. They really surprised me with this one. So yeah, let's move on to the eye category. I really want to talk about some new eyeliners that I've tried out. These are these new Makeup Forever Artist Color pencils. This is actually not a new formula to me, but they came out with so many new shades. Unfortunately, some of the really fun shades have a shimmer finish, and I really don't love that. So I got the funky shades that are matte. This is Zesty Yellow. This one is Wild Lagoon, and this one is, what's this called? Mystic Forest. This is more of a teal shade. I absolutely adore them. I also purchased one of the newer shades that is a little bit more boring. It's called Total Taupe, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't love this as an eyeliner. I'm using this on my lips. I'm not wearing this today or anything, but this is more of a lip product to me. And I've got so many of their OG sort of shades. I love this formula, but I always use them as lip liners. I never use them in my waterline. So now I've got these three shades, and I will say they are amazing. They will last in your waterline. I like to accentuate some of the eyeshadow looks that I do with funky eyeliners, and I feel like these shades are perfect for that. Okay, so let's talk about what's actually on my eyes today. This is a quad by REM Beauty, and it's called Femme Bod Fatale. Now, they've got this in a bunch of different colorways, but this Femme Bod one really spoke to me. Now, of course, you know, the mattes are not solely this shade. I don't think it was a wise choice to put this shade necessarily in to this eyeshadow palette because it pulls quite warm, and I don't think it goes well together with all of these shades. So I did use another palette to do this matte look. I did apply it as a base, but then I ended up using the Nomad Cosmetics Coastal Cruise eyeshadow palette. This is an all matte palette. It's beautiful. I'm currently creating some looks with this, and also they got a shimmer palette that came out with this. So I'm doing some looks with both of those palettes, but I used this today for my matte eyeshadow. Again, I used the REM one as a base, but then, you know, I needed this to adjust the colors a little bit and also to create some depth because that's obviously missing. I mean, it's a quad with 3 shimmers, but I will say, I mean, the shimmers in this palette are amazing. I'm wearing all of them. I'm wearing the Fembot one right here on my lids. Then I used this shade to just do my inner corners, and I used this shade for my lower lash line. It's not too squishy, it's not wet, it's not emollient. This is smoothing. It's very smoothing. It's not going to crease. Their mattes are also really, really good. They're very blurry, very easy to blend out, beginner friendly. So yeah, would definitely say this is such a hit. In terms of mascara, I've not tried anything new. I actually did purchase a couple of new mascaras. I still have to try them. I mean, I use this every single day. This is the mascara that I trust. Nothing has changed. Okay, nothing has changed. I'm still loving this so much. Again, I've got a discount code for Sweet Beauty. That's it for the eyes. I did not have many products. I know. I have tried out so many lip products recently. Like, I don't even know where to start. So for today, I said to myself, try and just select one product per lip category. So maybe let's start off with a lip treatment. This is by Dr. Dennis Gross, and it's the Plump and Repair Lip Treatment. I would rarely rave about a lip plumping product because I feel like the plumping sensation usually it's very uncomfortable. Your lips are either burning or they get irritated and stuff. But this is seriously something that I love using so much. It's like a thinner formula, almost like a lip oil, to be honest with you, without it slipping around or sliding around too much. I use this as a prepping step, to be honest with you. And also, this is the very first time that I've ever tried out anything by this brand. So, but I don't know what it was. I think it was just this medicinal sort of packaging. You basically push the bottom of this, and then it comes out at the top. And yeah, I mean, this will tingle your lips just a little bit. Not too much, but you will definitely get a little bit of that plumping sensation. But the results of this really does something to my upper lip. That's where I notice it the most. It's giving it some volume and some shape. And I just really love this. I really like it because it's just so easy to use. It's not irritating my lips in any way. And I see the results with this. So I think this is an amazing product. I would only recommend this if you were looking for a really good lip plumping product. Let's move on to some lip liners. Honestly, I mean, we already talked about the Makeup Forever pencil, so I don't really have to mention this again, this Total Taupe shade. Absolutely love this, but there was another brand that I just love their lip formula so much, and they came out with a bunch of new shades, and some of them were beautiful cool tone shades. I'm talking about the ABH lip liners, and I've got this in the shade After Dusk. That's actually the shade I am wearing today on my lips, and the shade Sepia. These lip liners are incredible. If you've not tried them out yet, I would definitely recommend them to you. Another lip liner formula that I absolutely adore is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Lip Crayon. She also came out with some new shades, and I've got this in the shade Liane. Liane? It's a beautiful sort of mauvey brownie shade. It's really, really pretty. This is a little bit creamier than ABH. ABH is somewhat the perfect middle, you know, it's not too creamy, it's not too stiff. This one definitely a little bit creamier. You can put this on and it's not going to disappear, it's not going to smudge, it's not going to run into any fine lines. Let's maybe stay on the topic of Natasha Denona. So this is the Natasha Denona High Gloss, especially the shade Leo. This is like one of the most perfect cool toned pinky brownish shades. These are actually quite pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product. I don't like to use too much of this lip gloss on my lips. I just need a little bit, and then I just kind of smudge it out with my finger or with a brush. They will nourish your lips. They smell like vanilla, and I just love this. I really have to say, this is an amazing gloss. Okay, so let's talk about another beautiful cool tone product. It's from Westman Atelier, and this is the Hydro Balm Tinted Lipstick. So it's like a balm hybrid lipstick. These are like shiny, whereas her lipsticks are matte. This shade in particular, Cafe Creme, get out. This is so stunning. I've been using this so much. I cannot stop using this. Now, I can definitely build this one up. They've got this in some other beautiful shades. I only committed to this one because when I saw this, I was like, yeah. I mean, you guys know what I like. I like a beautiful cool tone brown, in case you did not know. Another beautiful formula. The only thing I don't love 100% is the fact that they are minty. It's not that I mind it. It's kind of refreshing, but I don't love mint 100%, especially in a formula like this. But yeah, I did not get any irritation or any of that. If you were wondering, not at all. But maybe you are allergic to mint on your lips. Maybe you just don't, you really hate it. So just be aware of that. Another really amazing, this is going to be my last product because, I mean, I could talk about another freaking 15 products here, okay? This is the lipstick that I'm actually wearing today. This is a bullet lipstick, and it's so fantastic. This is by MAC Cosmetics, and it's their new Powder Kiss Hazy Matte Lipstick formula. I have some MAC lipsticks, and I have this Maximal Matte formula, and they had some beautiful neutral cool tone shades in that formula too. I don't like that formula. That formula is so drying. It's just not blurring. It's so unflattering on my lips. But this, the very first time that I actually really, really, really adore a bullet lipstick formula by MAC. They also came out in a bunch of shades. This is the shade Big Promotion. That shade, Perfection. Beautiful, neutral nude. It's not pulling too cool toned, and it's not pulling too warm, it's not pulling too peachy, it's not pulling too mauve. It's a perfect brown shade. You guys know how difficult that is apparently to make. I feel like this formula is also very long lasting. It is not very hydrating, but it's not quite as line enhancing as these Maximal Matte lipsticks by them, because that is just a formula that I ended up really not reaching for, really not liking, because I just felt like all of the lines in my lips were enhanced, and with this, it's actually quite blurring. So, amazing lip formula from MAC. Oh my gosh, you guys, that was it. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for having so much patience with me. I will try and definitely get on with more long format videos. I don't know when the next one is going to be, but I really hope it's not going to take as long as, you know, I mean, I definitely took a conscious break from YouTube. So please do let me know in the comment section down below if you have tried out any of these products. What was your favorite product of 2026 thus far? I would be really, really curious to know. And if you ended up enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and also ring the bell in order to get notified about my upcoming videos. And I shall be seeing you in the next one. So please do take care. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.